Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we are currently wondering about just how much stronger regulars are over levy troops. Because we're going to attack Alodia and they have a lot more levy troops than we do, but we have a lot more regulars. And we expect our regulars to outperform their forces to a certain degree. The question is by how much, and that is something that will have to be determined by experimentation. So we're going to select our Religious War CB here, and that's absolutely fine. Yes, this is what we want. So we will declare this war. Alodia will be the war leader, and that's understood. So we're going to declare that right now. And we need to raise up our levies at this moment. We also are going to need to boost up our army maintenance, which means we're going to have to do some minting here. I'll put it about here for now. I'm not sure where it'll actually need to be once we get our levies raised. So we'll raise all levies. There we go. That is absolutely fine. And once those are raised, we will move them in here. But we need to attack immediately with our professional force. So in we go here. That looks good. And we see that they have a levy force there. Now, our levies have also raised, so we're going to move them in up over here. Beautiful. So we got this, and I want to immediately attack up here and wipe this force out. That's going to be the dream for right now. You guys can come in too. Join the fun. Perfect. So that looks great. And we're now going to group this force together, and their professional force is out over here. So that's understood. And we're just going to take over this entire area. Now, we probably should have just attacked here, right? Because that would have given us control of the full region. Most likely. But we're just going to head on in over here. So we see they've got about 8,000 troops down here. This is their main army at this time. So we have these guys still on the way in. We don't have our full force present yet. The game currently expects that we will win this. That's interesting. Our commander heavily outclasses their commander. We have higher morale, better quality, and the terrain is to our benefit. But this will happen on 10 March, which is only 2 days away. So are we going to be the defender here? We shouldn't be, based on my understanding of how Paradox game mechanics basically always work. I'm going to take this battle because I want to verify a couple of things. Now, we have these reinforcements on the way, and they will actually arrive before this battle begins. So they're now here, and we're going to have a little bit of time here because we expect this battle to start at 2300. Okay. So the battle has begun, and now the question is, okay, look at the troop quality here. They've got 1 star, we've got 2 stars. And then if we look at this, we can see that technically they are considered the attacker here. And that surprises me, because we were still occupying this location. My guess is because there is not a castle here, it's still being constructed. And this is then us being the defender because there's not a siege going on here, just an occupation. So that's good to know for the future. Okay, so let's fight this battle. This is going to be the vast majority of their army. And we do still have reinforcements on the way in over here. Oh, look at this. Enaria is going to lose a battle down over this way. Okay, I didn't expect them actually being in this. Cool. So this battle's a little dicier than I would have liked, but that was 25 war score right there. That's huge. And they took a lot more losses than we did. So that's very, very good. We lost some support in Parliament, but we still have parliamentary support, so I'm not too concerned about that. So these forces are now good to go. I want to move directly up over here and get that under control. Then we will begin invading Alodia. For now, I'm not sure where... Is Alodia planning to attack over here? They should. They probably should. Okay, these guys are on their way up over this way. Looks good. So Alodia is definitely hanging out down over here. They're probably going to attack down here and get some occupation. That's unsurprising to me. So we're currently located up here. What are we doing? Well, okay, we're not there yet. We'll arrive on 6 May. It looks like we're there, but we're not. Now we are, and now we're getting some occupation going here. Perfect. So that looks fine. The next question is, now that we have all of this, these are going to auto-occupy, right? So what do we want to do about this situation down here? Well, ticking war score is on our side right now. Hypothetically, what would we need if we wanted to subjugate Alodia here? Well, as of right now, we can't do it because their capital of Soba needs to be occupied. So that's this right here. Understood. So if we were to come in here, how many forces do we need to siege this location? Okay, there's an outbreak of typhus. How much do we need to siege this location? That's the question right now. Okay, there's the gravel network. So this siege, in order to progress here, we're going to need some amount of forces, right? And the question is, how many forces is this going to end up needing? Because I want to create a new unit here, and I want to move some of these peasant levies out. And I think it would be something about like this. So it'd split our force roughly in half, and you can see the 4th Army has the greater morale. So that's going to be the one that has our... Yeah, that's the one that's going to have our actual troops in them. So we are progressing this siege, and now I want to head southward here. Because they're occupying, or actually they're not occupying down over here right now, but I want to head southward over this way and deal with some of their forces that are down here. Now, they may try to come up with one of their forces that was retreating and attack up here. And if they do, that's very sad. We'd prefer that they not do that. I do want to come over this direction and fight this force. And it looks like Eneria is going to try to hold them over in this area, although they instantly retreated. And we're going to come over here. I would love to catch this force. I think we just did catch them. Perfect. So we're going to come take this back. And we can see that they're doing this. Yeah, they're attacking down over here, which is unsurprising for right now. So our war score is at 40% at this moment, and that looks good. So this is back under control now. And that should become under control shortly. So these guys are walking into here, which is a silly thing for them to do. We're going to come up here as well. There we go. And now I want to walk south and see if we can catch this force. Yeah, I know these guys are rampaging a little bit down here. That's understood. For the moment, it's fine. We need to take this back, which we may as well do. And we are at still minus 42% up over here. That's understood. We don't have a leader up this way, and I'm just going to put this guy in. That'll be fine. Okay, so we've got Barara falling at this moment. That's understood. They're down over this way. And hello. So we see that they have a force here. We're going to go fight them. And the game says we're going to win that, and it kind of looks like we aren't. That doesn't look very good for us, to be honest. That doesn't look good for us at all. So I'm going to retreat from this. That was a bad battle. Okay, so we're going to back off. That's understood. The game lied to us, but that generally happens. We're just retreating to here, and we'll just let our forces replenish a little bit up over this way. So that seems fine. We currently have locations depopulating and starving provinces. Yeah, that's not surprising. Okay, so we're going to let these guys regenerate a little bit. So they've got about 7k troops down over here. They still have a numerical advantage on us. So all of this occupation and these battles have been bad for our war score. We have ticking still, and so that's fine for the moment. What I want to do right now is I want to move this force southward. And we want to trick them into coming into places they shouldn't. Now this force here, this is currently heading into Bazin. They would arrive there on 6 December. If we were to turn around, we would arrive on 8 December. Now, the game says that it's very likely that we would win again. Do we think that's true? Well, I'm going to wait, actually. I'm going to let our force, or our morale regenerate a little bit, and then go in. Their morale was kind of low, but it did regenerate some. No. We lost that again. Okay, so that's good to know. We still haven't progressed at all on this siege, by the way. Not even a little bit on that siege. So these battles are very bad for us, right? And we kind of need to stop. So to that end, we may need to... Well, I'm just thinking here about how we want to handle this. We're currently retreating out to here. We need to let that continue. We've finally progressed a little bit on this siege. So that's nice. Okay, we need to let these guys rest a little bit. We got a reinforced tick there, which is nice. And I'm now going to turn these guys back around and get them heading in here, because we need to deal with some of these forces in here. So what we need to do now is we need to just let these guys do what they're going to do. They're not going to get very much more progress out of this right now, because what we need now is to let them take what they're going to take until they get to forts. And we will contest the forts. That's the idea, anyway. So we're going to hang out in here for now, and we see that these guys are marching this direction. That's absolutely fine. I don't mind. And yes, I know that they're taking stuff down over here. That's understood. For the moment, I'm allowing that to happen. We're eating up our manpower pool and replenishing while sieging up here at the same time. I didn't realize they were attacking our capital. Where are they going right now? They're arriving in Sana. Okay. I want to go in and take our capital back. I definitely want to hold this. Okay, so we're going to take this back, no problem. They've got a small force there. That's fine. The siege is up to minus 14%. Now, they attacked us in our capital here, and that's going to go very badly for them. And that's fantastic. They should not have come in here. So that's a really, really good battle for us. We're going to take our capital back. And now we can head up over this direction, which is exactly what we're going to do. I would love to pursue this force. I don't know where they're retreating to. That's the issue. And we don't know where their other force is either. So that could be a bit of a problem. Oh, they're down over here. Okay. They're very, very far away. So that's noted. For now, we're going to keep pushing through here. And we're going to attempt to, well, we'll take out this force for sure. And that's a stack wipe. Let's take this back, and this is up to 14%. So this is going to fall very soon. 21%. So what I'm thinking right now is we march on their capital. That is a really awkward zone of control because of this fort. Hopefully that fort falls very, very soon. We see that they're here. We can't walk here. So we're waiting for that fort to fall at this moment. Once this fort falls, zone of control should allow us to walk in here. Now, if we control this area, does that give us any zone of control changes? No. Okay. Good to know. So for now, we're just going to hang out here and wait for this siege to end, which will happen eventually. Now, they're walking in over here, and that's actually very interesting. I want to fight them there. They're going to be low morale-ish, low-ish morale. We're going to come in, and we should be able to take that fight. Yes, indeed, we did. That was a very good fight for us. Fantastic. So there's this force down over here. They might be heading into Gondar, and that's okay. We need to eliminate this force. That's our dream right now. We really need this siege to actually do something. Please fall here. Nope, it did not fall. Very sad. There's this fort here, and yeah, we need to head up over this way for right now because of zone of control. But I really want to come down here and fight them at our fort. Minister gaining power. I want to keep the stability, thanks. I'll take the legitimacy hit. Okay, so we're going to hang out right over here for the moment. I really want this fort to end. It did, at long last. So we're going to go in and attack Soba at this moment. That's their capital. And if we can take that, that's a huge deal. We're letting this force regenerate. And then the question is, if we go in here, do we think we win this? Actually, yeah, I think we do win this. I don't think there's a situation where we don't win this unless they time it so that they are not actually sieging when we get there, but they did not. So we're going to win that battle, and that's a significant deal for us because we just took out 1,600 of their troops, which is enormous. So we're sieging here. They don't have the forces to be able to stop this unit anymore, I don't think. Now what we need to do is we need to come up and deal with this unit. I'm not going to take back this territory. I know the devastation is rough down there. We'll get it handled. So we're going to come up this direction, and they're going to try to siege at Atbara. That's a mistake. They should not do that. We're going to head up that way ourselves. And this siege is slowly progressing. Once Soba falls, it's over. Okay, so we're currently hanging out here. There we go. Now we're going to go in and fight them here. We want to give battle here desperately. So in we go. And we should easily win this. Yes. 740 casualties. That's huge. Their northern force is basically useless at this point. Now we want to come back down this direction once we can move again. Oh, we can't move into the mountains because it's winter right now. Right. We want to start heading this direction anyway. Why are they going to attack us here with 16 troops? That's very silly of them. Okay. We'll continue to siege at Soba. That's going to take a little while. And this is mostly the reason why they were able to do this is because they had a numerical advantage, right? That numerical advantage is gone at this moment. So that's fantastic. So we can't currently move into Kubar until the winter goes away. And we'll get that done eventually. We can move up towards Hague, and I guess we can do that. So that seems fine for now. They have 2,000 troops up here. So they must have retreated their forces here and grouped them up over here. Do we think they can attack us here with that? I don't know. They're raising more levies. We're up to minus 14%. Even if we lose that battle, that is not the end of the war. That's not a big deal at all. So we're going to take this territory back, and we're going to take all of our territory back over here back. Even if they walk in here, we're ahead of them on the siege curve. I don't care if they want to siege this. They can do that. That seems good. Only way that's not a good thing? Okay, they're suing for peace. That's a huge deal. I'm going to decline their peace deal. We're going to do our own peace deal. Yeah, the peace is imminent. This works like Stellaris. Okay. 1085 days have passed. Sure. So we've got plenty of time. We're going to head into Kubar next and take that back. Wonderful. And we're at 0% on this siege. So we'll see if we roll badly here. We're at 21, so we're rolling pretty okay on it. Looks good. So next up, we need to take back all of this territory, and that looks great. There we go. And we're going to come down over to here next. So the idea is we're going to take back all of these capitals and then make our way back up. The siege of Soba is successful. Beautiful. So now what we need to do, I was immediately going to walk up here and fight these guys. I think that's probably a bad idea. Maybe we should come down here and siege this location first. Now they're going to be ahead of us on the siege curve. That's understood. These guys are going to take a little while to siege through all of this. I'm wondering if maybe we would be the defenders here, right? Let's park these guys right here for now. They're really close to getting this siege done. Let's see if we get up here in time. Okay, what would this look like? The game thinks we will win this. Our army is better quality than theirs, which I find hard to believe, considering this is just levies. I don't know about this. The game says that it's very likely that we're going to win this. I'm not sure I agree with that, but I'm going to take this battle regardless. I'm going to trust what the game is saying about that, even though I probably shouldn't, because I at least want to delay their siege here. We're at 79%. Would they accept a decent war score here? We would want them becoming either a vassal or a fiefdom. Okay, they would not accept this right now. Gotcha. Oh, they got that just as we went in? That's unfortunate. Okay. And the Beja Patriots have decided now is their time. Okay, that's fine. I'm actually not concerned about that. So that's done. And yeah, we hard lost that battle. I'm not surprised about that. So we're retreating back to here, which is an awkward place to retreat to. But that's understood. So for now, we need to take back these territories, and we're working on it. We've got a long ways to go there. So these guys are going to be passing back to here. And in fact, they're retreating back to our capital. Okay, sure. So this is a little awkward up over here. We just need to get these guys back through where they are, right? And these forces here, we're going to be able to get them turned around eventually. For now, this is fine. So I want to head out over to Siru first. We're going to get this all taken back. Do we have any additional levies we can raise? No. Okay, that's noted. It's absolutely fine. So I'm not concerned about this situation right now, actually. So we're going to get this taken back, and then we're going to head over to here. These guys are ready to move. So we're going to move them up over here for now. Cavalry companions. Okay, cool. So we really don't want them to finish this siege, right? We really don't want them to finish that. So we're keeping an eye on that situation. It's here in our outliner. They're at minus 21. So that's understood. We're going to fight up over here, and that's no problem. Bazin lost that, and now we're going to hop out over here and get this taken care of. Wow, they're already at 14% on this. That's insane. 21%? Oh, they're rolling so well on this siege. I feel like we need to end this now. So what that means is that we would end up taking some territory over here, right? So we'd want to take this down over here for sure. I'd like to take all of this territory, ideally. So we can't take that right now because we need to take the war goal first. Understood. And then I want to take this, and then I want to take this. And then I think we need to take some territory from Alodia because I don't think that they would accept becoming our vassal. No, they wouldn't. They're going to get their siege done, so we need to do this now. We'll have to come back and fight them again later, but we'll at least take some territory from them. So I'd like to take whatever we can get away with out over here. Actually, that makes attacking their capital way easier in the future. They would accept something like this. I'm going to back off a little bit over here and over here, and I'm going to take what gold we can get, and yep, that looks great. Let's take this. So that's a significant land gain for us, and this will be part of our territory shortly as well. Okay, we'll send that demand. We have to peace out now, unfortunately. I would like to peace out later, but we've got other issues right now. So for now, that's what we're going to need to do. We'll march these guys on up over to here. And things are looking good for us at this point, to be honest. I don't think we're going to have access through here, unfortunately. So we'll take this back. There we go. And then we'll walk over here. Actually, we do have access through here, remarkably. Okay, seems perfect. So I'll have this force come up over here and this force come up over here. So Alodia definitely lost a lot of territory there. And I'm going to switch these guys from assimilating over to... Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Integrate province. Here we go. So we'll get started on that, and I'm going to switch this guy over to integrate province as well. So that's going to be this province. Cool. There we go. I'm going to leave this one on stabilizing for now. Wonderful. So the Gabar insurgents are going to be firing relatively soon. That's understood. I'm not that concerned about them. So we're going to be heading on up over this direction. They're currently heading out over here, which is kind of hilarious, actually. And we're just going to come in over this way, grab all of this. And actually, Eneria might be heading up to deal with these. That'd be nice. Stability investment going up, and then that's going to lead us to eventually getting Deus Volt, which is perfect. Apparently, we're building a barracks in Axum. Cool. The nobility decided to do that. I like it. So Eneria should be attacking out over here. Okay. So we're going to need to siege their capital fort here, and then they've got a fort over here as well. Looks good. And these guys have decided to siege down here. Now, Eneria is attacking this, and the game believes that Eneria is going to lose this. I'm not sure I agree with that. Eneria will be the defender, and they have a significant numerical advantage. Yeah, that's what I thought. Eneria stack wiped them. Perfect. So, as expected, that's not a particularly reliable source of information, and that's not shocking. So at this point, these guys have absolutely nothing in terms of defenses. In addition, well, in terms of armies. In addition, they have no real way to get one because our sieges are underway. So my question is, do we need to run this army maintenance? Probably not. So I'm going to turn down our minting to about here for now. There we go. And our army maintenance is down at this moment, because there's no way for them to actually do anything here. So we can turn our minting down even further here, which is perfect. And I'm just going to set our minting right here. We'll run a slight deficit for now. I'm okay with that. Okay. So these sieges need to continue, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to finish up our research of Deus Vult. We're going to recover a little bit from this war. We'll get all of this territory back. And actually, I didn't realize these guys still had a little bit of territory there. I intended to fully annex them. Okay, well, we'll come back to that in the next war. That's fine. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.